Hey everyone, I'm Leanne and I hope you are doing well. I just got back from an incredible trip to India, and what better way to start off this video series by showing you everything that I packed and prepared. I actually started filming before I went, but then I thought, why don't I film this video after my trip, because I'll have so much more insight, because there was a few things that I packed that I probably shouldn't have. So now with better hindsight, I'm much more confident to share with you my best tips on preparing for India. The first thing I ask is, what kind of trip am I having? So every trip I go on, I customize my packing on a number of different variables, because all of those things affect how I pack. Keeping those questions at the forefront of your mind while you're packing will be a big indicator of knowing the things that you need to bring. Tip number one, no matter where you're going in life, always pack in packing cubes. They're the best things. They're just the perfect way to compress everything you need and keep everything organized. I even pack a few spare ones just in case I shop. Packing in general is very simple. Do what works for you. Any pro traveler will tell you to pack light. The reason being is because it gives you the flexibility to up and leave with ease, travel to and fro places, and half of the time you do not use all of this stuff. I would recommend using a backpack for this destination, but I wouldn't say I packed overly light, and I didn't use a backpack for this trip, and I'll tell you why. So for me, this was not a backpacking trip. I would have packed a little bit differently. It was more a holiday. So that brings me to my trusty suitcase. I do have a backpack, but if I have the option to travel a little bit more comfortably, I will always choose my four-wheeler. My most important pouch is my underwear. I go ham with packing underwear. Fresh undies, can't go wrong. You can rewear a shirt 3 times, but you can only wear your undies once. Or twice if you flip it inside out. I'm just kidding, I don't do that. I only ever pack 2 nude bras, make sure one is super comfortable, I can wear every day. And I did bring 1 pair of swimmers, which you're never gonna need in India unless you're traveling to Goa or somewhere. And if you're staying at a 5-star place with a lot of tourists, I think it's pretty fine and safe to wear a bikini there. But all of the beaches I went to, you do not wanna go in a bra and undies. Even the locals will go in a conservative style swimming cozy. Now, whilst I'd advise to dress very conservative in India, there is a bit of a general opinion that the men up in the north tend to stare a lot more than the men down south. Especially in Delhi, you gotta be very, very careful about what you're wearing because it's intense. So I rotated between 2 flowy pants. This one I got in India. It has an elastic waist and it's super comfy, super free-flowing, and I brought these genie pants too. This is one of my favorites. I think I packed 4 shirts and 2 or 3 singlets. One of my favorite singlets that I used was a white singlet. The straps were a little bit thicker. Whenever I wore it out, I always wore a scarf on top. I packed about 3 shirts. Most of the shirts that I packed were V-neck. I also packed this long sleeve shirt dress. If you prioritize packing minimally and being agile so you can move around, that's amazing. Now my priority is being practical and packing smart, but being cute. I need options. I loved wearing this statement dress. Even though it ends at the knees, it's not too short. I would highly recommend packing 1 or 2 maxi dresses. I knew that one of the first things that I would do before my tour would be to shop, so I hunted one down real quick. If you had a maxi skirt, I'd highly recommend you bring one. I used it all the time. This is my all-time favorite pajamas to wear. Moving on to footwear. 1 pair of casual sandals. I use these like 90% of the time going out, and they're just from Kmart, super cheap. I am on the hunt for a really good all-purpose travel sandal, but a lot of the time they ain't cute and they're a little bit sore on the eyes. So I'm grappling with that, but I am doing some research. I have never gone on a trip without bringing a pair of thongs. These are just the best. They're the best. I've never not needed them, especially if you're gonna stay at a hostel or a guest house. And my last footwear that I brought was these. They are very, very comfortable, super lightweight. Even when I was walking uphill on all the village tours, like my Kmart sandals were fine. But I'd still recommend packing 1 pair of lightweight shoes, especially because there is cow poop. I wouldn't want my feet anywhere near that.
Okay, now here is everything else. These are the bits and bobs that go inside my carry-on. I won't go too in depth with my carry-on toiletries and makeup, but comment below if you'd like to see specific videos on how I pack those. I keep my chargers and knickknacks tidy in one place. Something that's changed the game with my charging has been using an adapter socket specific to the country I'm going to instead of using a big, bulky, universal one. These are my toiletries. I never go on a trip without my Tangle teaser. My hair dreads so easily, so it's the best brush. One thing to mention mention is you might need a leave-in conditioner. The water in Indian showers will leave your hair very dry and stringy. This was necessary for me. This is my makeup bag. I'd say the feature makeup product of this trip was my Huda Beauty palette. I loved using this color scheme. I always bring a curling iron, and I never leave a trip without my bum bag. It's my #1 item ever. So functional. I love using totes in Asia. They're light and easy, and this one is great because it has a zipper. So here are some must-haves I made sure to bring, and remember, you can always stock up while you're there. Again, I'm going to be making a separate video on keeping clean and avoiding deli belly. I made sure to pack a ton of wipes. I lived and breathed this product while I was there. It's a multifunctional alcohol spray that I used to disinfect my hands, my computer, spray on the toilets, freshened up my armpits after a long day, you know? So good. A pack of Quick Ease. It's a lolly that helps indigestion and it tastes good, so sometimes I just state it like candy. Hand sanitizer everywhere. It's a must. I kept one in my bum bag and one in my day bag. Insect repellent.
Made sure to be extra careful, especially at night in mosquito-infested areas.
These were the probiotics I took, and I swear to you, it saved my life. Now this is oil of oregano, which I didn't get to bring, but it's supposed to be super helpful. And out of everything I did to protect myself, these were the top 3 things that I could not live without. Moving on to the things I regret.
So I thought that I packed pretty smart up until this trip. But then now looking at my suitcase, there's a bunch of things that I probably didn't need. I could have saved that space off my load and made more room for shopping. The first thing that I should not have brought at all were shorts. Now these, I don't know what I was thinking. Now, I'm not dumb. I know that India is a conservative place. I just didn't realize how conservative it is. So I don't know what I was thinking by bringing shorts. These aren't even really tight, teeny tiny shorts. They're somewhat conservative shorts, but they are high-waisted and they don't cover my knees. So I didn't use that. Everybody is super covered up. And I deeply regret not doing my research on that part. Another thing I regret was this tight, strappy singlet. Just because it's so tight, it normally works. In Asia it did, but this was a no-go. Even if I did put a scarf on it, I would be much more comfortable packing a singlet with a thicker strap. The amount of stares you will get already is killer, but wearing something really form-fitting, even a little bit sexy, is a no-go. Okay, second thing I regret was this. I just found that when it was stinking hot and I needed to cover up, a scarf normally did the trick for me. Something else I regret packing was this. I like the sequins and the details, but because it's so transparent, it's just an accessory, there's no use. This shirt, I would have much more preferred to replace it with a comfy V-neck, but when I was actually photographing in it, the silhouette didn't really complement my body. I just didn't feel really good in what I was wearing. The same for this. This used to be one of my favorite travel dresses, but now that I've started to dress for my body type, I know that the shape of this is not very flattering. So something that I would really recommend for a trip to India, but I didn't get any use out of it at all, is this. It's a silk sack. What this is a sleeping bag liner. It'll protect you while you sleep if you're sleeping in any nasty, mysterious beds. And without a doubt, I know that this will come in handy. That's why it's so important to pack for the style of trip you're doing, because I didn't need it. Another random thing I regret packing was gloss. As it was so hot, humid, and sticky, putting more tack on my lips was not a good idea. You are walking around in a place that is very heavily polluted, yet you just don't want to taste any of that. So I stuck to matte lipstick all the way. I'm currently in the process of putting together an entire India series, so please stay tuned. If you are planning on a trip to India soon, I hope this video helped you prepare. If you like this video, have any questions, or have some ideas on more things you want to see from me, please leave me a comment down below. It would also mean a lot to me if you could give this video a like and a subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.